So I used to be a wrestling fan. I used to watch WWF that turned into WWE and WCW. One of my favorite wrestlers was Dusty Rhodes. I remember he was on the mic giving a promo, talking to the crowd and with the microphone. And he was talking to his real life son, who's also a wrestler. He said something so profound one time. He said, when you're in a crowd of people and you're not the leader, the view doesn't change. That is profound if you think about it. I don't know if he made it up or if you got it from somewhere else. But if you think about it, it's the absolute truth. Today, we're going to talk about leadership and we're going to help you become a leader if you're not one right now. Let's talk about it.
Terrible.
I love Brotha T.
How you doing? This is Terrion Wilson, aka yo boy Brotha T, here with another one. So I'd like to thank you and welcome to the new life tree, where we like to give you little pine cones of wisdom for your motivation and mental health. If you don't know what that is, stick around, stay on the channel, you'll get it. Remember, I don't know everything, but I might know a lot of things. Today, we're going to try to get you thinking like a leader. You might be one already. That some people are really born natural leaders. Some leaders are formed. They're taught how to do it. There's nothing wrong with either. If you were not a born leader and you have to learn how to become a leader, the best thing to do is get behind somebody that's a good leader, right? So you learn from, I know that's rocket science, right? But it's true. If you get behind somebody that is a great leader, then you will pick up certain traits, especially if you take it upon yourself to learn and get the guidance. Yoda.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
Okay, so we're going to give you a few pointers that'll help you become that leader that you were meant to be. So the first thing I want you to do, I want you to recognize the difference between being a boss and being a leader. You can get any job on this planet and get a boss, right? That doesn't make them a good leader. They might have got that position by being the owner's cousin. You don't know that. So they might be a terrible leader, but they might have that position. I remember when I was a cable guy, I won't say any names because they might be watching. You never know. But I had supervisors over me at times that knew less about the business than me. They would call me up to get advice on what they should do in certain situations. So I would say, how did he get this position, man? Who does he know? Who does he know? And then when I was on jobs with him and there were times where I'm like, how did you get this job? How did you get this position, man? You must know somebody. I'm just saying. But being a boss and being a leader is two different things. Being a boss, that means you're over something, basically. But being an actual leader, a good leader, an effective leader means that you can put other people in positions to win. One of the best traits a leader has, a real leader, a good leader, an effective leader, is they know how to delegate. They know how to first get people around them that are good at what they do. Then they learn how to delegate. So that's the first thing I want you to do. I want you to know the difference between being a boss and being a leader. The next thing I want you to do, I want you to blaze your path no matter who disagrees. However, I want you to make sure that whatever path you're blazing, make sure it's potent, make sure it's thought through, make sure it's logical, and make sure it's what you're supposed to be doing. First of all, so do your due diligence. Once it becomes apparent that that's the way you're supposed to be going, and that's full, especially if it's foolproof or anywhere close to that, blaze that path no matter who disagrees, because there's going to be people around you. Sometimes they're going to be your family. Sometimes they're going to be your friends. They might not be either. They might be associates. They might be people that are just, hangers on, or people that's around you for clout, people that like you, people that don't like you. They might say you're crazy. They might say you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're talking about. But if you've thought it out, you vetted it out, and it's solid, you believe in it, go after it, because that's being a leader. A follower is going to listen to everybody and do what they want to do. I'm not saying don't take constructive criticism, because if somebody has a criticism that's going to help you, especially in your building process, you absolutely take that and you use it to your advantage. But if they're just kind of like hating, don't let that get to you. Don't let it sink into your mind, especially your conscious mind. Because if it does that, then you're going to sabotage yourself eventually. So blaze that path no matter who disagrees, as long as it's foolproof or close to it. The next thing I want you to do is recognize that you don't always have to do it all by yourself. Now, I kind of mentioned that a couple of minutes ago when I said a great leader gets people around them that's good at what they do. Those are people that recognize that they can't do it all by themselves. No man is an island. Is that how it goes? Is that how it goes? I'm not sure if I'm messing up that saying or not, but it's a lot to that saying, and there's a lot of truth in that saying. No man is an island. You can't do everything yourself. Recognize your strengths. Play to your strengths. But also, depending on what you're doing, right? Especially if it's a business, understand that you might not be good at every aspect of that business. That's when you get people in that are good at what they do. Make sure you trust them, but make sure they're good at what they do. Make sure you point them in the right direction, delegate properly, and then let it go. Understand that if you start a business, let's say you start a let's keep it simple. Let's say you start a hair salon, right? You can do hair, I'm sure. You can wash it, you can curl it, you can do everything. You can sweep, you can mop everything. But I want you to really think about it. If you get somebody in there and you pay them specifically to wash hair while you're doing hair, you can become more efficient. You can make more money. Do you get what I'm saying? You can absolutely try to do it all, but it's going to make you less efficient. Now, I know I kind of reached on that analogy, but I think you get where I'm going with that. There's probably a lot of hairstylists that are like, yeah, I would make double the money. Yeah, wouldn't you? Right? Just imagine if as soon as you're done with this client, another client is ready. Hair's already washed. Get them in the chair and then you're done. There you go. Another one. You get what I'm saying? Instead of having to stop and do all that yourself. That's the best example I can give you. I think you get the clue. So the next thing I want you to do, I want you to make a plan and move on the plan. And this is more for people that haven't made that move yet into whatever that leadership role is. Make a plan. Even if you work somewhere, you don't have to own a business to do this. Let's say you work somewhere and you're given a certain position, right? I want you to sit down and make a plan for that position. I want you to tell yourself where you want to be in a certain amount of time and start moving towards that. Make little goals, little micro goals, right? And then have a macro goal, a big goal up here, and then start hitting those little goals and go towards the big goal. Why not? Even if you're at somebody else's business. This makes you a better leader, because I can tell you right now, whether you're talking about sports, whether you're talking about regular jobs, or even in a family, when you're a leader of a family, especially if you're a man and you're a head of a family and you're a leader, if you have a clear plan and people know about that plan and they see you moving clearly towards that plan and accomplishing those goals towards that plan, they're going to jump on board and do a better job too. There's nothing better than having a leader that knows exactly what they're doing and knows exactly where they're going, and they're going there and nobody can stop them. You start believing in them. They might have sound crazy when they gave you the original plan, but as you see them going and stuff is moving and stuff is happening, you're like, oh, okay, well, let me jump on board right quick. And if you're a leader in training, because I had to learn how to be more of a leader over time, I have had been very blessed to be around some of the greatest leaders in every aspect of my life. The sports arena, when I was in church, I met great leaders there. In my personal life, I've met great leaders. Even at work, there's been great and not so great leaders. And I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, the ones that had a clear plan and I knew what their goals were and they were moving towards those goals, I loved working for them. I worked harder for them because I wanted them to succeed. Because when they succeeded, guess what? It passed down to me and I succeeded. And I learned so much from them about leadership, including what I said earlier, which is delegating. So let's go through that list one more time. This is how you can become a better leader, right? So I want you to recognize the difference between a boss and a leader. I want you to blaze your path no matter who disagrees. Then I want you to recognize that you don't have to do it all, right? And the last thing I want you to do, I want you to make a plan and I want you to move on that plan, especially if you're just starting whatever endeavor it is. I wish luck to everybody out there that's going to get into a leadership role, or everybody out there that's going to start their own business or do anything that involves them being a leader. I want you to be successful at it. If you're watching this channel, I want you to watch this channel, and I want to make sure that we give you tools to make your experience better, to make these things better. So if you get out there and you start showing these leadership skills and you got it from T's Life Tree, come back and pay us a visit. Tell us how it went. This is your man, Terrion Wilson. I'll catch you on the next one, family. I'm out of here. Peace.